Let's start with bodhicitta. Start with bodhicitta. To save all sentient beings, please send Supreme Bodhicitta. Continue today. Today's class is more important. Today we will focus on the sixth and eighth senses. Mainly talk about their characteristics and how we perceive it, sixth and eighth senses. Many of us now have this sixth sense. The eighth sense may have been asking, what is the sixth sense? What is the eighth sense? This one uses some terminology. Maybe everyone will be confused at once. Many people don't even want to, I don't want to go deeper. This is actually a big trouble. We went from first grade to second grade. From second grade to third grade, every year is because of a desire to learn how do you want to understand the world correctly. In that case, we need keep learning something new. So what about the sixth and eighth senses? Originally, it was just two nouns. It's about understanding ourselves. It is convenient for us to better understand. Therefore, it is defined. We can use the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere, rational thinking, emotional thinking, subconscious, conscious. And what else does Western psychology have? The false self, the real self, little me, big me. These similar nouns, and that's exactly what he was talking about. Why did you create so many nouns? The content of this lesson is meaningless. It's the whole. We want to understand the world, know yourself. But you need this class? Without this class, Teacher Long's four-dimensional level 12 heart ability, it can't be established. So such a class, he's very important. It is the sixth consciousness and the eighth consciousness. Many people listen to this. Alas, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm confused. This is actually nothing to be confused about. Because you want to understand it in one lesson? The first grade textbooks of our elementary school, let's just watch one day. I understand. I figured it out in one lesson. But when we were kids, maybe you don't understand after a year of study? I didn't pass the exam. Okay? So we need a little patience. We said this sixth consciousness and eighth consciousness. In this Western psychology, there are many nouns. What is conscious? Sixth sense. The subconscious mind, the eighth sense. Rational thinking, sixth sense. Perceptual thinking, eighth sense. What is the small self, sixth sense? The large self, eighth sense. True self, eighth sense. False self, sixth sense. Why did they create so many nouns? The reason is actually very simple. One is they're not practitioners. They are mainly theorists. Theorists are most willing, just create something yourself, build your own theory. But if you are a practitioner, you don't think it's necessary. This world, it has been explained by the Buddha. I'll just talk about other people, Buddha. But this scholar is different. He might prefer create your own system. This is the first one. Second, they don't fully understand, not fully understood, what is our life made of. It is because of such a lack of understanding, so he led them to create many noun terms to analyze some of these phenomena. So if we say, understand this sixth and eighth consciousness, that's what we call it. The sixth consciousness is consciousness. The eighth consciousness is the subconscious. The sixth consciousness is the rational thinking of the left brain. The eighth consciousness is the right-brained perceptual thinking, probably, but not accurate. Purely accurate description, it must be the eighth consciousness and the sixth consciousness. It must be these two acquaintances. My sixth and eighth senses here, I told you. Teacher Long's sixth sense here is the top 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sum of the first 6 senses, eighth sense 2. The sum of the eighth and seventh senses, so go with this. Something in consciousness only. There is also a little difference. If you say later, you've studied some treatises in depth, and he said, this Teacher Long is wrong, then this also correct, because we don't follow it exactly ideologically speaking, not completely, corresponding to 12,345,678 consciousness of consciousness-only theory. I want to simplify it. The goal is to have one that is easy to use. It is to let everyone in real life, in your own life. When looking at the world, we can apply it very simply. So with one goal in mind, let's simplify it. Sixth and eighth consciousness, what we said, if we understand it as a conscious mind, sixth sense, a subconscious mind, the eighth sense, then there is no obstacle for everyone, right? This, but what? If you just stay there, what have we learned in the past? What is consciousness? The subconscious mind, what rational thinking, emotional thinking, everyone is actually interested in these things. They're clueless regarding its characteristics, etc. At least nothing is known about its characteristics. So we need get to know it well. What are the characteristics of the sixth and eighth senses? Its characteristics determines what we will analyze in the future. To look at some phenomena in the world, when analyzing, can we reach the correct conclusion? Correct conclusion is based on its own characteristics. To decide, rather than making it up ourselves, we talked about consciousness 6. You can think for yourself, but the eighth consciousness, can you think? You all know that eighth consciousness, since it is not in our brain, inside the body, it's affecting us quantum. The eighth sense cannot think with the sixth sense. For example, you never know. Why do you love that dish? You love that dish, but you don't like the other dish. You don't know why I like this color. For example, the light red in red, pink you like, but you don't like crimson. Something like this. If you say, you want to think through reason, sixth sense, to reach a conclusion, then this is obviously impossible. Do you understand this point of view? That is to say, all based on the sixth and eighth senses, for personal phenomena, analysis of social phenomena, both derive from the characteristics of the sixth and eighth senses. So, what are the features of this D60 and 80? Let's talk about the sixth sense first. We are the easiest perceived. I use it every day. Have a cup of tea, read a book, or now, do you like this? High dissatisfaction. I feel like dozing off now. I don't have time to listen right now. I don't have time for lectures right now. I have other things to do now. I want it. I want it now. There are other things. There are many more. We are currently thinking, all of it. Do you have to remember this conclusion? All of them. Thought activity that we can perceive, it's all sixth sense. All are sixth sense, of course, including the first 50. That's all we're aware of. All are sixth sense. It's an important point. Because of the sixth sense, it's what manifests. It's conscious, can be detected by us. Even by us, to some extent, we need to think about something. But you can't think anymore. Let's say you do a math problem, or you think about why the human body is so rare, or you think about this relativity, difficult to understand, and then you find that I can't think anymore. How to do? Do you still want him to think? Does he listen to you? Why don't I listen to you? So we say, there are many cracks in life. Okay? We all think, this body is mine. I'm in control. But actually we say, you sit here, you keep him from thinking. Your brain is completely out of your control. You send a command to your left hemisphere. Say, stop thinking. Don't think about it. This is what we repeated last year. Meditating repeatedly. When I meditate, I say it again and again. Why are you thinking? Can't stop thinking. Because it's simple. Because the eighth quantum, he will keep sending instructions to interfere with you. It's an instruction that we're not aware of. But what? When your mind moves, you will perceive its eighth sense existence. We think this brain, it's our own, but it's out of your control at all. Don't you think that's strange? Right? So we say, this life, it has a very interesting phenomenon. It has a lot of cracks. But these cracks, if you don't have the ability to identify, you have no way to identify, then this crack is just a crack. It's impossible for you to see the truth of life. But there are also many people like Mr. Long. They will lead the way, seeing such cracks in life, through these cracks, to see the reality of life, and to understand why I am in pain right now. Why did I make this decision? Why do others behave like this? Why does the world behave the way it does? You will have an accurate understanding of the world. You can even interpret it. interpret the phenomenon it presents, and the reasons behind it. This is what we're going to do about these deep thinking. A reason for deep understanding, we were talking about consciousness 6. It is all that we manifest. We can think. I think, therefore, I think I can control, partial control. We just said, even if this body, the left hemisphere is inside of us, even if you have been stubbornly believing this body is me, but you still find you can neither do anything to this body, stop birth, old age, sickness, and death. You can't say I'm not old. You can't say I'm getting younger either. Or I speed up and get older. You can't do it. You can't talk to your body. You're not sick. This birth, old age, illness, and death, we have absolutely no control over, right? And even we always thought, thinking, this I can control. But what actually, we found that all you have to do is sit down. Your thoughts are out of your control. We are next. I will also use this anti-child trick. We will find, once you want to fight against that eighth sense, your life becomes miserable, but you will gain a sense of freedom, eighth consciousness. We'll talk about it later. We are now talking about the characteristics of the sixth sense. We say that the sixth sense is the consciousness of all manifestation. The sixth sense, is the king in the open. We thought, everybody thinks I'm in control. I thought I wanted to eat. I want to sleep. I like what I see. It's all me, the me now, in charge. Everyone in the world will think. But what we found was that, as long as you think a little bit, I found that this conclusion is not valid at all. Do you agree? Deduct 1 if you agree. If you agree, deduct 1. If you realize this, then we can better talk. If you refuse to admit it, oops, I can't think your conclusion is right. This body is mine. My brain listens to me. If you insist on this belief, then this may be you and this law. No fate. We've all been through so much, so many ways to tell you, this body is me. We thought he is not at all. My body is not mine either. My brain is not mine either. At least he's not completely under my control. So through this life infra, we found out it's a brain that we have partial control over. Hey, I let him think. I now make him think of Beijing. He just misses Beijing. I make him think of New York now. He just wants New York. I will let him think about it now. Think Trump's funny. He becomes Trump's joke, right? It seems to be his body part. It seems to be listening to me. But in fact, many places, he doesn't listen to us at all. After we understand such a truth, we knew it. Sixth, he's the king on the surface. All the world will mistakenly think, I will think that I am in charge of this moment, but in fact, he is not at all. We say, we pass this inverse and follow. We will see the sixth sense does not call the shots. Of course, we said this whole thing. Does this lesson run through? In all the courses of Xingnan, the most basic course, in the future, we will include every class will use this. Such knowledge, the sixth consciousness, the first characteristic is that it is the king on the surface. We all think, I am the biggest, I am the best, it's all me. I'm thinking, I am making a decision, I like it, I don't like it, it's all me. The bright side is the king. But what is he? In fact, he was a courtier, a minister. Whose minister? He is the courtier of this eighth consciousness. He is the tool of the eighth sense. He is the puppet of the eighth sense. He is the executor of the eighth consciousness. Command executor, he is an official, a servant. On the bright side, he's roughly equivalent to the police chief. What mayor? Looks like he's the best in the local area. He calls the shots, but in fact, almost no policy is something he can control. Do you understand? The sixth sense is your local official present time and space. The eighth consciousness is the one who can control this magistrate. Sixth sense has almost no way really issue their own instructions. Which one? The one who actually gave the instructions. That's the eighth sense. Our lives are the same. The true master is our eighth consciousness. We can define it simply as the soul. Our 60th definition is thought. Sixth consciousness is defined as thought. Keep talking about this sixth sense. The sixth sense has another characteristic which is very important. It's a segmented processor. We say it is the king in plain sight. It seems that we can all make our own decisions. These are my decisions. I'd like to take this pen. I'll take this pen. I want to eat. I will eat. He's a tool guy. After we gain a deeper understanding, it will be clearer. But what's the second feature? The second feature, that's segmented processing. In between this paragraph, it jumps, like you might be listening right now. In the process of listening, you might mistake. Oops, it's still so-so. Let's go. How did this mistake come about? How did this separation come about? This parting, obviously it can't be linear logic coming in, continuous, right? If our sixth consciousness thinks it's always been like a current, continuous words in a row, then you can't jump out of one. I'm leaving thought. So this is a very important feature of consciousness 6, is that it jumps. We say that matter is continuous. We say birth, old age, sickness, and death, impermanence. Streams, waterfalls, it's all this stuff. The manifestation of matter must be continuous. Continuity of continuity. Matter cannot jump halfway. This is a characteristic of one-dimensional matter. Our birth, old age, illness, and death are day by day, 1 hour. An hour, a second, it's getting old. Instead of waking up tomorrow morning and suddenly getting old, does awareness stand on knowledge? This deep question, we can discuss this later. Of course, there are some problems that you slowly solve by yourself. So we said, we waited until we went to college. We found that 6th grade was really easy, finished in a few hours. But in elementary school, we think this textbook is so painful, right? So you listen to a few more classes. After listening to a few more classes, you know what's going on? Many questions do not need to be answered now. What we need to understand first, now that you understand that, many answers naturally emerge. The sixth sense is characterized by jumping. The characteristic of the spirit is that it is leaping. Take him, for example. Why did you suddenly ask such a question? If you are following Teach Along and have been listening, be quiet and listen. To let go is to listen. Will you come up with this question? If thought is continuous, you can't ask this question. The characteristic of the sixth sense is that it is jumping. He can never be the same as matter. Matter is continuous. Impermanence. The impermanence of matter, the impermanence of the world, including our physical bodies, it's material. Its material impermanence it's changing moment by moment. It's continuous. But our minds are always jumping. It jumps. Why is he jumping? Why jump? Because he wants to execute it for a long time. The command of the eighth sense, the boss eighth sense, it's quantum interference. So what do we mean by a quantum form? Sixth sense, spirit. The leap is still in this time and space. You can't get out of this time and space. Quantum forms span this time and space. He has crossed the dimension of time. He put the past tense, our love and hate for someone, brought in the relationship between debt collection and debt repayment, bringing this kind of karma in. For example, why did Shinyi come in? I want to criticize her, right? Of course, this matter has the judgment of my mind, sixth sense, but at the same time, it is also with my eighth consciousness. It has something to do with my karma for her. Of course, it could also be willpower. It could be karma. But the two sixth sense, eighth sense, must be in harmony, must be in tune. It, criticizing her, can only show, so even if it's just a good habit, at least your life has value. Otherwise, it will all flow and sink with the night, and you look like you've been busy all your life. A lifetime of separation, missing, thinking, and choice, but it's not really you at all. The characteristics of the sixth sense. The first is that he is the king in the open, practical courtiers, instrumentalists, slaves, execution tools. It's just an actuator. And then the second feature, it's jumping. I can't remember, is that why? In the true Mahayana, it is rarely said, go to meditation, you force your mind to stop, because that thought is not something you can stop, not by yourself. Do you understand? You can't break. Because of that eighth sense, it's bothering you all the time. Is there a little pain in your body? My stomach growled. I burped again. I eat too much and want to go to the toilet again. I'm holding my pee again. It's itchy. Again, you're giving feedback all the time. Then, the eighth sense is that he is constantly influencing, commanding, and you decide, can you stand it? You think about it with your sixth sense, but you can't make it. But there are convenient ways. Once you get the hang of it, for example, your sixth sense, take this bitterness, emptiness, impermanence, and thinking to the extreme, this person is rare, life is impermanent, reincarnation is excessive, cause and effect are not false. Think to the extreme, you will have one. Don't bother to be delusional. Just because there is nothing to think about, after you really came out of that centrifugation, you sit here, you have nothing to think about. Or you are like Fan Sixon, you gave up. If the mortal heart does not die, the Taoist heart does not live. Yuan Liafan, gave up at that time, but Dao Xin did not give birth. But when your heart dies, you can already enter meditation for 3 days and 3 nights. Are you sitting here? Don't worry about him. Haven't you already decided? The sixth sense has several characteristics. This is repeated. First, he is the king on the surface, practical courtier. Second, it's leap thinking. The sixth sense is easily corrected. It's very susceptible to change. Is what you think today, but after I said a general reason, you may change rapidly. The sixth sense, precisely because of the second characteristic, jumping, not stopping. He doesn't live. He couldn't think of it. Is he jumping? He can't remember it. It means that he is easily changed. Do you understand? He has no roots, understand? Our sixth sense has no roots. The sixth sense, the third characteristic, he is easily changed. It's very susceptible to change. The sixth sense, the fourth characteristic, is that it lacks power. So Mr. Long has always had a point of view, knowing is powerless. The fourth characteristic is that is it, the sixth sense, has no power. The sixth consciousness has no power. So, for example, if you tell a child you have to be obedient, you follow this, or do you have to get up early tomorrow? When eating, be honest. And then, did it work? It has no effect at all, or is almost useless. But you study a lot. After often adding some straitjacket spells, it works. And this sixth consciousness itself is the tight spell of the eighth consciousness. Because the eighth consciousness transcends time and space, the eighth consciousness, because it transcends time and space, and what about this sixth consciousness? It can only be realized and realized in the present time and space. We have so many great ideas. For example, there are many ways to get rich. Ancient robbers, thieves, this robber or something, robbing a bank, something like this. There are many paths to wealth, but you have to conform to the time and space rules of the moment. Then many methods cannot be used, right? Our eighth consciousness is the same. Number 8, for example, I want to get rich. Then he, the eighth sense, doesn't care about this time and space. He wanted to use any means. But the sixth sense tells it, the eighth sense, you have to conform to the current time and space rules. So the sixth sense is the eighth sense, the spell in the present time and space. The sixth consciousness is the spell of the eighth consciousness in the present time and space. Everyone should understand this. The sixth sense is the tightening spell of the eighth sense in the present time and space. Does the sixth sense strengthen the eighth sense? Wrong. We just said, you want to be rich. You have so many means. Why does it strengthen the eighth sense? The sixth sense, these things, thoughts, in our present time and space, it will be accepted by the eighth sense again. From this perspective, it can be said, it's part of the reinforcement. Is it smoked and seeded? It doesn't reverse the eighth sense either. I am not learning the eighth sense. It is a spell in the present time and space. It's your eighth consciousness. He, the sixth consciousness, is a subject who obeys the eighth consciousness. Most of the sixth consciousness is subject to the eighth consciousness. You change. We'll get to that inverse later. Do you know how painful it is? It's not a twist. You all type these out? I just found that everyone doesn't quite understand this. The fifth characteristic is that it is proof that we are alive. Without this sixth sense, it may be difficult for us to realize. It's very difficult to really understand I am alive because I'm still making a decision. Then we continue to talk about the eighth consciousness. The eighth consciousness, which we say is a collection of past and deceased, he will take it again, everything in this time and space. He kept collecting, take what is happening now, things, favorite again, as future reserves, as future seeds. So from this perspective, we say you make a good habit in this life. For example, hearing the Dharma respectfully, old honest. If you have been here all your life, always there, with karma, with this one habit circulating, then your person in this issue, it's a waste. I'll give you a person for nothing. Therefore, in this sense, we can say from the perspective of human scarcity, we must cherish such a person, must go, really go, do a little, make a change. We say that the eighth consciousness is the sum of the past and the past. It has two important features. The first one is the real boss. The big boss behind real big boss. He is everything. Our current karma, our initiation and fulfillment exist in the eighth consciousness. Then it, the eighth sense, is our present moment. Happy to meet someone, not happy to meet someone. Even if they are your parents, he is your brother and sister, he is your family, your child. You still can't do it. Eighth sense, karma, even your son, your daughter, you will still be annoyed by him. Why is that? This is not what your sixth sense changed. It's not your sixth sense that decides, and that makes sense, right? If it is the sixth sense, he is your child. Will you not like him? Will you bother him? What's bothering you, right? If this sixth consciousness is really what we call the shots at the moment, the world has actually become very simple. Our love and hate will be very clear. We will never stop loving him just because he is naughty. It annoys him. Why does it matter, right? He is naughty when he is naughty. It's yours anyway. Since you treat him as yours, then his naughty is not your naughty, right? Therefore, the eighth consciousness brings karma and habits. Karma allows us to live every life. There is a mutual relationship, debt collection, debt repayment, revenge. It is not our judgment of the present time and space. He is my son, and I want to love him. He is my parents, and I want to be nice to him. I want to love him and respect him. No, it's not. The sixth consciousness is powerless. Let's review this again. The 18th consciousness, he is constantly outputting and constantly collecting everything at the moment. Those are his two characteristics. Constant output, constant collection. The first characteristic is that he is the boss, the real boss. The second feature is that he is outputting when horizontal. He was also constantly collecting. The third property is that it is quantum. He's quantum. You don't know when it will trigger. In fact, it is constantly outputting. He transcends time and space. It collects those things from our past, brought to the present time and space. He didn't follow the rules of this time and space at all because he despises the present time and space, because he is high-dimensional, higher than the present time and space, leaving our current three-dimensional space. Do you understand? It is higher than our present time and space. He is a collection of past lifetimes. He has neither the concept of time nor the concept of space. He is constantly affecting our present time and space. It comes across time and space. He ignores the existence of present time and space. Of course, he despises the present time and space. He despises the present time and space. He doesn't care at all what kind of rules exist in the current time and space. It only outputs according to its karma, habit. This person used to be nice to me, and now I want to be nice to him. That person used to be bad to me, and I was bad to him. He follows this set of patterns, mirror, empty valley echo. Of course, there are habits in it. Habits, for example, that's what I love. That tastes sour. That tastes bitter. I don't like it. One of them is a habit. One is karma. Both sides are affecting at the same time. Therefore, the eighth consciousness, it came across time and space. It's quantum, so it's hidden from us. Then within this soul, this space-time spanning quantum feature is also very important. In the future, how to judge the energy of something. Above level 7, Four-Dimensional soul level, one of his most important characteristics is whether it has the ability to transcend time and space. If a person's language or his thoughts, without the ability to transcend time and space, then he must not have reached level 7 or above. This is my comment on this Confucianism. He has absolutely no sex. Because he hasn't even reached three-dimensional level 7, and the visibility must be above level 10 four-dimensional. Therefore, this Confucian school cannot produce saints. His Confucian saints are all bragging about themselves. I advertised it myself, I sealed it myself. It was sealed by virtue of its relationship with the emperor. Of course, that's off topic. Let's divert. To judge something, does it have energy above level 7, three-dimensional soul level? One of its important features is there the ability to transcend time and space? So here's an example. So many Buddhist scriptures, so many great virtues wrote those languages, treatises, those verses. Now put it anywhere in the world, any nation, people, When you listen to it, you can be moved, will be shocked. It shows that he has the ability to transcend time and space, right? It shows that he has the ability to transcend time and space, and those who cannot cross time and space, it can only be determined by the current situation. People in a particular region of a given time and space identify with and cannot be recognized by others. This is a very important feature. Then the quantum formula is also a very crucial concept. Quantum form, we will talk about quantum form later. Quantum entanglement, we now understand quantum science. It has been touched a little bit. In the future, when Teacher Long talks about planetary civilization, what stage will be anticipated? At what stage? Humans will break through quantum science. Then, once the breakthrough into quantum science, our souls can completely independent. Let's say we change the body, it will become very simple. It's not that difficult, at least. We can absolutely find the body you want. It's entirely possible. This is some combination with science, which will be discussed later. We will talk about the sixth and eighth senses, the important characteristics of both. Then we can talk about how to see the eighth sense. Some people have not yet admitted to having an eighth consciousness. Or rather, I don't think agree, does this soul exist? Does it really exist? I say existence is very simple, provable, simple. Simple to what? So for example, let's use an inverse. Chinese, Taoists are also saying something, called to shun adults and turn into immortals. Teacher Long has also been emphasizing, you follow your habits, nothing has changed in your life. But once you decide, when I want to go against this habit, you have to reverse these habits. Oops, I'll come in when I'm done. Class. Brother Long's class is not important. My food is important. Children matter. My dishwashing is important. The ground is not yet swept away. Many excuses, that's just your karma and habits at work. So how do you see this karmic habit? It's very simple. You are the opposite. You will arrive at 1:30 tomorrow, Mr. Long's live broadcast time. You obviously have a lot of things. Just say that no matter what, I have to listen to the class first today. And you'll see how many obstacles there are. There are 2 yesterday because he was also his wife. Her relationship with her brother, not very good. I said, then you go against it. Just be nice to your big brother. You take what you love, bring the things you cherish most in your home. You can give it to your big brother now. You said, big brother, I was wrong before. I want to be good to you. Then you will find 8th sense. It's the same for everyone online now. You want to see that reverse. You also want to see that thing in your soul. Your karma, your habits. You can go offline now. Wait a minute. There are a few minutes left. When it is offline, you can make one. Things you didn't want to do at all. The person who annoys you the most, you go and make up with that person. You go get your favorite things. The most precious thing is given to that person. Then you will find something wonderful. Karma, habits. Then you will find that it is difficult for you to call the shots. We've just discussed that. If our sixth sense, brain, is in charge in this life, then you want to be with that person now, then we should be able to do it completely, right? There is no barrier in theory. I was in charge. I want to be nice to that person now. It turned out not to be good. Isn't it easy to change, right? However, when you make this decision, you will find that, hey, that thing 8 cents, he's the boss. He's the boss. Then you will find, I can't do it. The concubine really can't do it. Why not? Why is that? Mr. Long's heart energy is to explain why. Therefore, it is called 100-0Y for adults. You can't say, I can't do it. Then it's over. Then this life gives you a crack. It was wasted. Then this life give us the greatest value, more valuable than Rui Bao, more valuable than Jinshan Yinshan, just in your eyes, thrown away like garbage. Then this period of our life, I could have lived a beautiful and wonderful life, can become something that benefits us forever. This beautiful life, it was thrown away like garbage by you. What a pity, right? Things that cannot be exchanged for thousands of dollars, personal, we treated it like garbage and threw it away. It's the word reverse, inverse. What day do you think, I'm going to reverse this habit? You can realize the 8th sense. Therefore, in Teacher Long's heart energy, it says, we need to recognize the 8th sense. We need to fight karmic habits to really transform this life. It starts with confrontation, 6th sense versus 8th sense. Confrontation is opposition, right? Confrontation is opposition. In fact, the 6th consciousness has another characteristic. The 6th sense, actually has the possibility of transforming the 8th sense. Because of the excellent minister, sixth sense, he can also change his king, eighth sense. There is a way, it's not impossible. He doesn't mean completely, and this is in the sixth path, the only crack left for humanity. So I'm in the group. I just posted that paragraph. Six paths of reincarnation is like a big tin can, like a big sealed tin can, and only in humanity, leaving a subtle to the extreme, a gap. This gap, you see it go out of the big tin can of reincarnation. If you can't hold it, it's inside the big tin can. From this perspective, the human body is extremely rare. I hope that those in this room, to be able to really cherish this rare person, I often think about why the human body is rare. After your thinking is clear, your life is changed. You only need to think about this one. Human body is rare. Your life is changed. Your life. It has changed dramatically. That's changing your life. This is real life changing. Okay. So that's about it for now. Let's go back together. Okay, thank you. Good luck, everyone.